And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a show about shows. Obviously, as you're seeing, this is the first time ever that we're coming, from all our respective homes because of, you know why. I'm sure there'll be a movie made about it one day. Of course, as always, I'm one of your hosts, JPO Jordan Pierce Owens. Hello, hello. Joined as always by my main man, Dutch McAllister.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? I don't have the fancy background, but I'll get there.
Yeah, it had to be Chrome guy over here that doesn't have it or something. And then joined for the first time ever, it's been long talked about, but he's finally here, ladies and gentlemen. My brother from the same mother, Don Mega. Don, how are you?
What up, guys? Welcome. I'm glad
As
to be
you can
on
see,
a
he's
show
coming from-
about shows.
And he's coming to him from his own podcast. Long time running. I just asked him. We're at 43. He's at about 300 or so. Am I on the air? You see it right above his head there. Long-lasting podcast. Big fan of it, obviously. I've been on it once out of 300 times. So, hey, not too bad, right? And obviously, I was much demanded to be returned. And he's at Spotify, all the cool places.
He's in our Virtue Medea chair tonight. Finally.
We have a blank chair. One day we hope to physically fill. You're the first. Well, actually, we had one guest. We had James. You didn't like him that much, but we had James before.
we got over it. I think. I don't know how that works, but you know.
So now we have Don in the. He says the Medea chair. I say the athlete chair. That's who I want to be on the show. We got a fun show for you guys today. We actually do have several reviews. Obviously, nothing from the theaters, although some movies that would have been in the theaters. And then we're talking top 10 films that were bummed that have been delayed because of this coronavirus and
Coronavirus.
I'm thirsty.
Again, there's gonna be a movie made by Matt Damon one day, right, guys? So we'll get there.
Well, I do know that the writers of The Office are making a workplace sitcom based during this epidemic, so that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that. That'd be good. I think most of the cast was with that one, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they've gotten to casting yet. I just know they're writing it, and it'll be a workplace kind of sitcom based around people working during this pandemic.
Well, 6 feet apart. No, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe.
Is it? No, that's the sequel to 5 Feet Apart. You're getting that mixed up.
Ah, yes, the classic movie.
Yes.
5 feet apart.
Most people are going, "What's he talking about?"
It's a great movie if you guys get a chance to watch it. I got it, so I watched it.
Yeah.
So.
Great movie. You're the first one to say that.
Well, it was free when I watched it, so it was so much easier to.
Well, speak of another movie that I haven't seen and that I'm sure Dutch thinks is great. Let's talk Trolls World Tour. Oh, this sounds like a long premise. Let's see if I can get through this thing. An adventure will take the trolls well beyond what they've known before. Poppy and Branch discover that they are one of 6 different troll tribes scattered over 6 different lands and devoted to 6 different kinds of music: funk, country, techno, classical, pop, and rock. This stars the voices of my future wife, Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake, Rachel Bloom, Kelly Clarkson, my second future wife after me and Kendrick divorce, Ron Funches, Anderson Paak, my best man at the wedding, Sam Rockwell, and then my other groomsmen, Keenan Thompson, amongst many others. Dutch, you might be one of the groomsmen, maybe, if you're lucky, with Rockwell and Tom and Keenan. I know you saw this. Megan, did you happen to see Trolls yet?
I did.
All right, guys.
My daughter's actually watching it for the second time right now.
Oh, they're using all your views.
As we speak.
You got 48 hours to watch it. So.
48 hours, yeah. So she's getting it in while she can.
Oh, that's right. $20, 48 hours. That's my problem with it.
The only thing is, I'm only watching it once. Is that? I don't think I'm getting a great deal, but
not enough bang for your buck. Yeah, Megan, talk to us about it. What do you think of the Trolls, a much anticipated sequel?
Yes. So I actually just got done putting up a Stardust about it with Aria, who gave it 50,500 stars. So
I love her reviewing.
Yes. I tell her every time, out of 5, and it just always goes way beyond. But yeah, no, she actually really, really loved it. Like I said, she's watching it for a second time right now in the other room as we speak. It's cute, man. I mean, really, to me, I just thought it was funny because to me, this is the kids' version of Infinity War. Basically, they're trying to collect the 6 stones to wipe out humanity in this movie.
Much, yeah.
It's pretty much the way it comes down to, and they're trying to put it on the gauntlet, which in this movie is a guitar. So it's cute though, man. I love music, so I kind of dug the whole aspect of like the techno trolls and the rock trolls and the pop trolls and just all the different segments of them. It's when I review kids movies, I always try to just do it from the perspective of a kid, and it's very easy to do with my daughter who's 6. So like I said, so from a kid standpoint, this movie knocked it out the park. I have several friends that also rented it last night for their kids, and I haven't seen one person yet say they didn't enjoy it with their family. So I think they did a good job with this one. The songs are catchy, the characters are catchy. It has a lot of good laughs. So yeah, I'd say it was pretty good. I'd give it 4 out of 5 from a kid perspective there on that. So fun times.
Well, I like the film. It's very eye candy-ish. I do love the colors, the pop, animation is crisp. I love the Funk Town, the funky one. Those are my favorite. It was Mary J. Blige and George Clinton were the king and the queen of that realm. And there's other surprises that take place through that. Anderson .Paak is a part of that, which he does have some catchy songs in this production. But I loved it to a point, but then it was just I like the first one better. I'll be honest, I like the first one better. I did rewatch the first one before the second one. I just found it fun. It was a fun for the family. If I had kids, they would probably be enjoying it like yours. Because I do try to watch it almost in that way, or because I don't have any kids, so I just basically watch another kid watch the movie, and I know that kind of probably is creepy to some people. That kid over there looking at it,
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I'll give it 3.5 easily, almost 4. But it just 4 was the first one. This was 3.5, but it could get better, now that they've opened up the world, for us.
Some strong reviews there for Trolls World Tour. I don't know, agree that the first one was a 4. I'd say it's a solid 3. It was a fun one. I look forward to seeing the second one. I think they're fun, just kind of forgettable fluff movies. Very bright, vibrant. I can see why kids love it. It's literally eye porn. So let's talk about the next one, which is another one that.
Real quick, I just want to say,
yeah.
Shout out to Universal Pictures for putting this one out direct straight to VOD like this, because this is one of the rare ones that dropped day one. That it was literally supposed to come out in theaters yesterday, and this is a day one release at home. And Universal's actually been in the news for being on the bad side of movie theaters for doing this. So I heard the head of the movie theater saying they will pay for this one dearly.
Yeah,
So
it's like all of a sudden they became their own Bond villain in this film.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they will regret this day that Trolls was released. But I'm glad they did, man. We're stuck at home, man. We're looking for new content to watch, especially with families. And I think it was a smart move for them to do. They've been advertising. I think the first trailer for this movie came out over a year ago. So this has been one of those movies that I think every time the trailer showed, my daughter's like, when's this come out? And it's like, in 8 months, it'll be here. And so it was nice that, they didn't have to push it back and we could just watch it last night.
I think the reason why they did that, it was more because they were all in. They were already too deep into their spending, and they said
they spent all the marketing money.
I can't do much more. Let's just get it. We pushed it up for the Bond, and then because Bond moved back, we thought, we could sneak in before anything else bad happens, and the next thing everything was pear-shaped on them. And I don't blame them for doing what they do. And if the theaters punish Universal, I'm going to support Universal a lot more because of that. Because I think most movies are same day as theaters anymore. Because your sound systems are all geared up for it. So it's a great time to be a home movie watcher.
No, when this was all happening, I said that someone was bound to do it. Somebody was bound to pull that trigger. We started seeing, kind of later on with Hunt and stuff. This came out the same day as theatrical. Somebody was bound to do it. And it's smart, too, even for a kids' film. As you said, the budget was probably spent on marketing. And, hey, now you think about it, like you said, you have great TV, great sound system. Instead of bringing the whole family and spending, $10, $15 a ticket, $20, the whole family can enjoy it, get it in, get it out. No, it's definitely a smart marketing move. And it's funny to think about it now. Trolls World Tour will kind of go down in history for this now. It has its own little mark on history now.
Little asterisk, man. And I was able to rent it in 4K, so it looked beautiful, man. I was enjoying the hell out of that. And it was the same price, $19.99, so I appreciated that.
Yeah, I had the 4K over here as well, so it was beautiful.
Yes.
The next
Talk to me, Dutch.
the next movie we're going to talk about, I talked to you guys briefly off the air when I did your podcast just recently, but elsewhere. It's got a guy who's still mourning the death of his wife. Bruno is hopelessly attached to a seaside cottage they built together when he's evicted by his soulless ex-in-laws now. Bruno vows to get it back at any price. The stars Aiden Young, Parker Posey, Ken Jeong, Beau Bridges, and Jackie Weaver. To me, this is kind of like a romance, like a rom-com, but it doesn't have its footing as well. It's a guy who's pining for the love of his dead wife, and his soulless in-laws come by and say, "Look, we've given you 2 years to grieve. Now get the hell out of this house." Even though they gave him all the property and they built the house themselves, there's no will, or he can't find the will, and so he's being pressured out of his own house. Then Parker Posey is the unwitting buyer of said house, and Aiden's character, is just very distraught about somebody else living in his own home, a place where him and his wife were very magically happy until her death. Beau Bridges is his wacky father, and Jackie Weaver is his mom, who's very Christianish. So there's a few scenes that she's praying at the dinner table, saying, "Dear Lord, watch over my son, and by the way, so and so is single. Let him, find her in his path so they could be happy together." And she's one of those meddling moms. And Kim Jong is his kind of, I don't know what to say about him. He's more of a dim-witted friend who's just I love that poster. But yeah, he's just basically his dim-witted friend who's basically a hippie, as far as I can gather. But all in all, it was a very good tale. There were some moments where you would thought, well, it should go this way, but then they took it another way, and I was pleasantly, surprised by this film, because it was just one that I just stumbled across in these times. 3.5, I give it 3.5 stars. So very well worth watching if you get a chance. It's on VOD. If you don't want to watch it on VOD, it'll probably be on Amazon or something shortly. But it's well worth a watch.
So, if I know my brother good enough, you didn't see this, did you?
I've never even heard of it. So I was like, what the hell is this? I just keep staring at the background there of Ken Jeong. I'm just like, okay.
But no, I find these things, and you guys find movies too, right? I mean, it's.
I don't know. I feel like I watch stuff people have heard of before.
I just take gambles. I don't know. I got an hour.
You never know what you'll find.
I got 2 hours to kill. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, I like Ken Jeong. I don't know if I'll get around to it. We'll see. Maybe not. Coming up next, something I'm actually bummed that I haven't seen, because I'm a huge Mark Maron fan. Great podcast here. Looks like he's got a new special out. End Times Fun. Maron wades through a swamp of vitamin hustlers, evangelicals, and grown male nerd children, culminating in a gleefully filthy end times fantasy. This is evidently on Netflix, so definitely something I will check out soon. Talk to me about it, Dutchie.
Mark Maron, what else can you say? He's just hilariously funny. He's very his humor is spot on. He does poke fun at the Marvel universe a little bit, so I thought about you immediately, Jordan. But how you hold him into such high praise. Hey, and I am a big Marvel fan.
No,
I'm a big enough. Look, I'm a big Marvel fan. I grew up on them.
No, you're not.
But I am not like the way some of these people do hold as a hierarchy of people, like deities. But yeah, I am. He's got the glove. He's got the glove. But yeah, I just find his just him just talking, and his stand up is just great. He talks about his relationship with his mom, and it just, I don't know, it just rang home for me. It was just fun to watch. It's a good hour spent. I gave it 4, and I don't do a lot of stand up comedies. Stand up comedians, I don't really give them a lot of praise sometimes, but this one I have praise for, so I gave it a 4.
Alrighty, talk to me about another movie that no one's seen now.
What? Okay, this it's called Holly Slept Over, and I know you guys have all seen this one, right? No, no. Ah, come on. When Audra tells her husband that she once had sex with Holly, her college roommate, their lives take on an exciting and unexpected turn. Holly's surprise visit is undeniable charm. Soon enlivens the couple, sparking a new insight to the relationship. This one has Nathaniel Emmanuel, Britt Lower, Joseph Lawson, Ron Livingston, and Aaron Hayes. And if you don't know who Nathaniel Hill
Bang up
is,
cast.
it is. But the lady behind Jordan at the moment. If you haven't seen her, she's also in. She was in Game of Thrones.
She's in the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah, which one? 3 or something like that, or 4 or one of those?
No, she's in the later
3?
ones.
Oh, is she? I don't remember when she was
He was
in.
probably 12 when it was 3.
Yeah.
She probably was. But she also has been in Four Weddings and a Funeral, the Hulu show.
Oh, the
And-
Hulu version.
Yes, it's by Mindy Kaling. Get a shot at it. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a good rom-com thing, which I love. And this is what I was thinking about this film. I thought this film was going to be just that, the perfect fun rom-com with a little bit of a throw-in of a threesome. But turns out it failed in so many ways. I couldn't get by. Yeah, I know. Ron Livingston, though, by the way, should have been the lead in this film and not just the best friend. His character, I thought, had more charm in his tiny bit that he was talking about. There's a scene where he's coming clean to Brian. Not Brian. Geez, what's my notes say here? It's Noel. That's Josh Lawson. And he's the guy who wants to have the threesome. And he's telling, Ron Livingston's character, Pete's telling Noel, I've done the worst thing possible. And he's like, what's the worst thing possible? And he goes, well, my wife sleeps naked and we haven't had sex like once, in a long time. Basically what I did, I got so angry that I started, manipulating myself by him. And then I just spuged over her, and then he cleaned her all up. She doesn't know anything about it, right? And you're like, this guy's off his rocker, but I want to know more about this family's relationship other than the one that's the main character I'm supposed to care about. And like I said, there's a little bit of promise at the very beginning, but after that, it just falls completely right when they're about to have the threesome. It just falls apart, and it's just really kind of the dregs at the end of the day. And it's supposed to be a good dark comedy, which it doesn't come close to, even for dark comedy wise. I gave it 2.5 just because they all showed up, I guess, to get paid. But 2.5 is my deal on it,
2.5 because they showed up.
Well, Ron Livingston was the reason, really, because I want more of Ron Livingston in films, but I don't know why he doesn't do more.
He does a lot of movies like this. That's why he's there. He just look on Voodoo, and he's got several.
Yeah, but no, I like I said, it was decent.
Was it?
It was better than what I will be talking about next. How's that?
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that because speaking of next,
Tell me you guys have watched this one.
Love Wedding Repeat. Sister's Wedding Day.
Dude, what the hell are you guys finding?
Go smoothly. Jack finds himself. Hey, don't say you guys. I haven't talked about mine. Jack finds himself juggling in an angry ex-girlfriend and uninvited guest with a secret, a misplaced sedative. Sorry, and the girl that got away. In alternate versions of the same day. This stars Sam Claflin, Olivia Munn, Freda Pinto, Eleanor Tomlinson, Joel Fry, Jack Farthing, Tim Key, and Alan Mustafa. Dutch, again, I think you're alone. Go on.
Okay, this is a Netflix original, and I'm usually okay with Netflix originals. I love rom-coms. This is the perfect rom-com setup. It's a wedding. There's going to be mishaps. It's going to be fun. the thing is, none of it takes place. I'm not sure where the fun was at all during this film. Olivia Munn's character is, I don't get to know much about her. All I know, she's a foreign war correspondent, and that's about it. There's no charm had by her. Everyone in this film has, the only person who gives me any charm, and I actually wrote down this guy's name to make sure I could give him enough credit. It was Tim Key, who played Sidney, because he was the most annoying guest that you'll ever see in a wedding ever. Because I met this kind of person at a wedding before. Perfect person to play this, and he's a one-dimensional character, but they're all one-dimensional characters at this point.
This is your favorite character?
Yeah, well, his is, but everyone is really more than half of what he's brought to the part. I think he read it and he thought this was like some great film, and everyone else was like, it's Netflix. They're just throwing money at this. Let's just all get together and have fun.
Again.
Yeah, and so, but these are bread and butters for me. I love a lot of rom-coms. This one just didn't have any comedy, didn't have any romance. Had nothing that you would want in a film. I gave it 1.5. I gave my first thumbs down ever to a rom-com. I'm gonna be honest. There's ways to salvage it, but you couldn't salvage this mess. This is a hot mess.
Is it 1.5 because they showed up?
No, 1.5 is because, well, maybe because they recorded it. I don't know. I'd give this right now a 1.5. But that's just,
If this was the poster that I saw on Netflix, I don't know how you would click play on this thing. Just look at this poster.
No, well, you got to watch the preview. I watched the trailer. The trailer was cut well. I'll give you that. It brought me. Oh, shut up over there.
The trailer did nothing for me. Neither one of these last two films, the trailer did much for me.
Well, okay. Well, I'm a sucker. I can't help it. At least I didn't have to pay for this one. So what's next we got?
Guarantee my left hand that Don didn't see.
Okay, this is my last one, I believe, that I saw. So it's called Crip Camp. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary. It's starting in 1971 at Camp Jinnid. Did Don just fall over? Is that what just happened?
The show. He's like, I don't even know why I'm here.
Oh man, it was basically a loose, free-spirited camp designed for teens with disabilities. The focus is on the campers, then turn themselves into activists and disability rights movement and fought for accessibility legislation. This is directed by Nicole Neiman and Jim Lembrick. You know what? Look, I know that documentaries are not the key. This is actually put out by the Obama's production house as well.
That changes everything.
Yeah, it does for everybody now.
All you had to say was the Obamas were behind this.
Yeah, they were. But no, it's an interesting deal. I've never heard it. And this is basically a camp that was formed in 1951, and it brought crippled children together. Well, they actually during some of this thing, they had a crab outbreak. Yes, the sexual transmission of crabs was a big thing that took place for like a week in this camp, because there was a lot of they treated the kids like normal. These kids were wheelchair bound or whatever, and cerebral palsy and a whole bunch of others. And they let the kids run their course and have fun. And that was the only time you could see that these kids ever had fun, because they had to go back to the real world where it wasn't very welcoming to children with a disability or adults with disabilities. They would put them in hospitals, and they would treat them like they were disease freaks at that time. And it's a horrible thing. We've come a long way in the treatment for disabilities and with people with disabilities, with the Disabilities Act, that culminates too, with these people have all started at this camp. It's fascinating. It's heart jerking, but it's a good documentary. I think everyone should watch it. I gave it 4.5. Snows on this one. I don't know what could have made it 5, but 4.5 is damn good, and I enjoyed it immensely. So get a look at it. It's on Netflix anytime you want it.
It's a strong review, and I will definitely see it when they make a real life version with Mark Ruffalo playing the main character. then I will check it out.
So now we're going to go into your world of movies. So what have you got for me there, Jordan?
Neither one of you saw.
Yes, let's do it.
Do you have any notes, or am I going over all these?
What? No, I can read some if you want me to. Or...
All right. So first off, we're going to talk about The Platform, new movie from Spain, live on Netflix right now. A mysterious place and an indescribable prison, a deep hole, an unknown number of levels, 2 inmates living on each level, a descending platform containing food for all of them, an inhumane fight for survival, but also an opportunity for solidarity. This one stars Ivan Masuj, Zorian Aquila.
No one knows anybody that's starring in this. You can just stop with the cast list.
I only have 3. How dare you not give this cast its respect? And Antonio Juan. I could have gone on and named a couple more because it is a pretty small cast here. I was intrigued from the trailer. I think this is a fantastic trailer. Evidently, this was talked about at one of the festivals from last year. Netflix spent a good little chunk of money for it. As you can see, there's a platform. It starts off on the first level with.
Well, there better be a platform. That's the whole damn movie.
There is
right?
a platform.
I'm just describing the movie. And there's an abundance amount of food from level 1, but here's the thing: everyone's obviously going to be greedy for all the lower levels. So it's about that fight for trying to, have it to where the lower levels who are sometimes dying and not getting their share. And this thing is it's really interesting. There's some great set pieces here. Well, not set pieces, it's one set piece. But as it goes on with the story, I really liked it. It gave me the Cube vibes. Have you seen the Cube?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen the Cube.
Yeah. But it's better because I think it has more to say. And I think there's a reason why, Netflix. What do we know? You haven't seen it.
The Cube's way better. I can just
No, it's not. You haven't seen it. Another foreign film, huh?
Look, this sounds like to me? It sounds like the Snowpiercer, but without the train. Right? The best criminals get the good food as it trickles down to the back of the train. And that's the lower.
Sure, I heard you. Yeah, I said yes already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean,
just trying to make sure because I'm trying to use the platform. I don't understand. Okay, go ahead.
So I don't know. I thought this is a very neat film. It's in the Netflix top 10 right now. I highly recommend it. It is dubbed. You don't have to read Don, so I know you don't like doing that. So
I don't like dubbed either. So that's why I haven't watched it.
It's in the top 10 for a reason, though. I'm sure they'll remake it one day with Clive Owen, and then you'll see it. So
yeah. I will say I've had several friends tell me to watch this. Many people have told me to check it out. Yeah.
I've not heard of it. So
I'm giving it 4 snowflakes. Wow. Well worth checking out. It's a unique.
I'll check it out.
Unique tale. Check it out.
I'll check it out. Can I watch it in original language?
I don't know. I didn't try.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
You can watch it with subtitles.
Yeah, I like it. I like subtitles. I like to read and be entertained.
Read.
Okay. The next one I'll read. Coffee and Kareem, a Detroit cop, reluctantly teams up with his girlfriend's 11-year-old son. Oh, that's a boy? Okay. To clear his name and take down the city's most ruthless criminal. Starring Ed Helms, Terrence Gardenhide. Oh, geez. Drink, everybody. Tajari? Is it Tajari?
Taraji P. Henson.
Thank you. Betty Giplin, David Allen Greer, Ron Lee, and Andrew Bachelor. There we go. So,
Betty Gilpin.
I thought that was a girl.
Yes, it seems like a girl in the trailer for sure, too. So.
Yeah.
It's a boy.
But it is a boy.
Okay.
That's Kareem. Coffee and Kareem.
A little word play. I see what they're doing.
Yeah, get it, coffee. Yeah.
One likes to play basketball, and the other one likes to do some coffee. Right?
That basically shows you the sense of humor where this movie's coming from. This is the epitome of.
I wrote the thing, okay? Calm down.
An okay Netflix movie. I found out later on, just kind of after I saw it, and I did a little bit of research here. It's from the director of Stuber, and it very much matched that level for me of. some ultra violence with some kind of garbage humor, and there's obviously a cocktail in the middle of it here, and an unlikely pairing. I mean, it very much felt very much on the level of that.
You should be giving it a high mark here because Stuber was awesome.
Stuber was a solid 2.5, and that's
probably. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, no, man.
It's a 3 at best.
Until I tell my buddy Dave about that.
Oh well, Dave would be like, "Yeah, we could have done better." Dave did.
No, Dave enjoyed it.
Yeah, Dave says he did.
I'm gonna call Kamal.
Well, would we all enjoy it if we got paid to do what he did on that film? It wasn't much, but he did it. Good for him. Good for him.
I love
knocking Dave's hustle. I don't know. That's not one of the questions about here. And hustle's fine here too. I mean, Taraji P. Henson is kind of sidelined here for a good chunk of the film. Could have been played by anybody here. I like the kid, but again, just the dialogue, the script's not really there. The laughs don't come as much as you want. And then, yeah, even though it's not even that long, it even feels a little longer than it should be. Again, just like Stuber, 2.5.
Whack.
Don, did you watch it yet?
I haven't. I do plan to check it out. I was telling Jordan actually the other day, I thought it was actually a Netflix series.
Yeah.
So I was putting it off because I was like, I ain't got time to watch 8 episodes of this. But then when he told me it was a movie, I was like, okay, now I'm willing to get through it a little bit quicker. But I haven't had a chance yet. But.
Yeah, I haven't either. I decided to watch Love, Wedding, Repeat. What the hell was I thinking, right? What was I thinking?
You could have watched the mini-series of Coffee and Kareem, according to Don.
Well,
I should have.
Moving on to a movie based on the kind of controversial book, if you guys remember that from a few years ago with Oprah, A Million Little Pieces. A young drug-addled writer approaching the bottom of his descent submits to 2 months of agonizing detox at a treatment center in Minnesota. This stars Aaron Johnson, Billy Bob Thornton, Odessa Young, Charlie Hunnam, Giovanni Ribisi, Juliette Lewis, and Ryan Hurst. This came from the novel by James Frey. This is the one where Oprah said, "It's awesome. You get a copy, and you get a copy, and it's in my bestseller." And then later on, some people did some research, and they found out that a little, if not a lot of it's bullshit. The guy didn't really go through half of what he said he did. But Aaron Johnson, who actually his wife, I think, co-wrote and directed this, made this film. She was a big fan of the novel here, and there's some good stuff here. This, unfortunately, it's bogged down by it just not being a little too scattered. Like, for instance, there's only a little bit of Ribisi. You don't get enough. He almost seems like you cut out that character here, and we've seen this done better too here. I think Johnson's giving it his all, but the script almost just isn't there. The relationships with the girls seems kind of forced. And I think it's an important movie for some. I think people going through struggles, it is a little bit uplifting, even though it's trying to be very melodramatic towards most of it towards the end here. So it has some moments, but I think there's a reason why this also kind of has fallen under the radar. It came out back in December. Timing, I think. And so I give it 3. I think there's some worthwhile moments here. Johnson's trying his best, but there's just not enough connected to the pieces to bring this to that next level.
Okay.
I've never even heard of it again. So I don't know. Where do you guys find all this shit? I don't know.
I saw the trailer months ago.
What did you watch this on? What did you watch this on?
I did a free month of Netflix DVDs, and it was sent to me.
Wow, that's what he had to resort to watch this damn movie. Is he went back 10 years to get a DVD copy in the mail?
Look,
wow.
I've seen the trailer. It did look okay. But yeah, I don't know. We dig up these beauties like they're rare, archaeological finds. That's what we do. We find these abused films and we try to bring life to them. That's what we try. I'm not watching.
What year did this come out? Is this new?
Yeah, this is. I said December. and VOD wise, probably in the last couple of months. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's called A Million Little Pieces.
Yeah, based on the very popular book.
Yes, I'm sure you knew all about the book.
I heard about the controversy. I did hear about the controversy.
I love how it keeps referencing the book. We're like, you have no idea about the goddamn book.
I'm not saying I bought the copy or it's on my bookshelf, but it is you were talking about that in a review show.
I do remember the cover. The book. I remember the cover is like a bunch of, like somebody put their hands in a bunch of sprinkles.
It's no Gone Girl.
Gone Girl was a lot more interesting.
The next film is going to be called American Dreamer. A down on his luck driver making extra cash, chauffeuring a low-level drug dealer around town, finds himself in a serious financial bind and decides to kidnap the dealer's child. Jim Gaffigan stars along with Robbie Jones, Isabel Arazi, and Tammy Blanchard. I know it's blank. I screwed up the last one. So.
Look at your face, Don. I see this wasn't higher on your Netflix DVD queue.
This has been what I've been interested in, though. I've been interested in this film.
I think Jim Gaffigan has slowly been building.
We found the two people that are. Starring Jim Gaffigan. Okay, now I know why I haven't heard of this.
Well, I see that to me is something I'm interested in. That going.
I just gotta say, for a dude that does a weekly podcast about all entertainment, television, and movies, you guys are finding all the shit I've never heard of before. Which kudos to y'all, because there's not many things I feel I have not heard of before.
Hey, we're going for the A24 or Sony Classics.
Gotcha.
We're going for that group. We're trying.
That makes sense then. That makes sense.
Expand your horizons, Don. See, you were talking about me being the Marvel shill. He's the Marvel shill.
Yeah, that's okay. I haven't seen a shilling yet, but we'll get there, I bet you.
Yeah. Well, what are you wearing, Don? What's your T-shirt? It's a Guardians. Actually, I like that T-shirt.
I like that T-shirt too as well. I have nothing on mine today.
Lion King.
Gotcha.
Number one uncle, because I am.
I should get my baby Groot and bring it out.
So let's talk about Jim Gaffigan's starring role here, guys.
Sorry to get off track. Let's get back to this masterpiece.
I think he has slowly been building a really fun acting resume. He has been.
Yeah, he's gotten better.
Last week's show, we talked about Troop Zero, which he was really good in. Yep. This week we're talking about this one. I mean, the movie's not that great, but he's really good in it, and so is the other lead, Robbie. My problem with it is something that happens very early on. It really kind of took me out of the film, and the ending also left so much to be desired here. The actual journey I enjoyed here. It kept me invested. But yeah, there's just a couple problems. It's one of those movies that very much relies on coincidence a little bit too much too. So it's worth maybe checking out for Dutch, because I think there is some stuff to check out here if you're interested in seeing Gaffigan give a really dramatic performance here as well. He's very down on his luck.
It looks very gritty. It looks very gritty for him.
I mean, it's not an uplifting movie. And in fact, the thing that took me out of it, I think, would make some people turn it off. Just some of the stuff that's going on here. I give it 2.5 though. There is some worthwhile moments in here. And Don, I can't wait for you to get it on DVD.
Thanks. I'll reactivate that subscription ASAP.
He's gonna sign up for Crackle right away. Don't worry.
So Don, how about
is it streaming on Epics?
Do you have any indie movies? And do you have any movies you've seen or any TV shows you've seen you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I've seen a couple. Let's see. I finally caught up on the Charlie's Angels reboot last week, which actually wasn't as bad as it seemed like it was going to be. So
yeah, you shit on me for seeing it in the theater. Just want to put that
I'm leaving this damn podcast.
He went to the theater to see it. I was
there with him. That's how bad that was.
There was a reason I got it for free along with other movies.
Here we go. See, he pawns off every single one of these movies by being like, "I'll get a free copy later for that shitty movie that I'll never watch again."
How is that crazy? You wasted money.
Look, I am not gonna.
I watched it for free. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just see it for free every day.
Well, see, here's the deal. We have the Regal Pass. They were going to give away a free copy after you watch 4 of the films of Sony.
Yes, I know. He tells me all the time.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's decent. I went to watch it because I wanted Jumanji and I wanted Bad Boys, and now we got Bloodshot coming our way and stuff like that.
3 movies that he loved that he's going to spend $60 on, but yet I'm crazy somehow. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I've had Bloodshot for weeks, and you're still waiting for yours.
I don't need to see Bad Boys 3 anytime soon. I saw it once. It was mediocre.
I didn't even say Bad Boys. I said
He's
Bloodshot.
a bloodshot.
I said
Oh,
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot. Yeah, that movie I can really wait for. You gave it a better review than even the director would.
Anyway, so Charlie's Angels, like I said, one-time watch, not too shabby. It was all right for a Saturday afternoon to check it out. So that's one. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. I'm just saying it was all right. I'd say probably like 3 stars. It was a good one time. Then last weekend we watched Downhill. I think you guys already watched that one, from what Jordan said. It's the one with Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, based loosely on that true story about the guy who ran away when his family was about to get hit with the avalanche. Once again, I enjoyed it, but I'd probably never want to sit down and watch it again. It was a good one-time watch. Probably another 3-star one right there.
I enjoyed that film. So yes, I agree.
Yeah, I did enjoy it very much. It just I didn't see a replay value on that one.
No, I don't think there is, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah. We already talked about Trolls 2. That's obviously the biggest and best and the newest one. But I also just watched earlier, speaking of kids movies once again, but see if Jordan's already caught this one or not. It just came out yesterday on Netflix. It is for us wrestling fans, The Main Event.
No.
I do have it on my list.
Huh?
What?
What'd you
No,
say,
I
Jordan?
forgot. I just said I forgot it came out already. I saw earlier that it was out. I was like, oh man, I would have loved to have talked about it.
Yeah. So we literally just finished it about an hour ago or so, right before she started watching Trolls again. Cute movie, man. I mean, and it's fun. It's heavy on the WWE plugs, like over the top, which is great. It is a WWE Studios movie that's in conjunction with Netflix. It just dropped. It is in the top 10 already. It's number 10 of 10 in the top 10. But yeah, the movie basically is about a little kid. He's about 11. One, of course, just that typical nerdy kind of kid who gets picked on in school and everybody hates him. And then he finds a magical luchador mask. And when he puts it on, he gains confidence and he has increased strength and speed and everything. And it just so happens there's an NXT tournament going on in his town. And if you win the tournament, you get a contract to the WWE. So he enters the tournament. And
Those things happen all the time here.
Yes. I know. It just happens to be in his local town, and it's shown on television as well, too, which I thought was hilarious. So it was cool. I mean, it was cool to see, a WWE kind of themed movie. The kid is really cool that plays the luchador guy. Kid Chaos is his name in the movie. And, it is very over the top. It's very, very kiddie. But once again, my daughter just absolutely loved it. She's been getting really into wrestling lately. So she thought it was so cool, like catching all the name drops of Kofi Kingston and New Day and this and that. And even some of the guys in the tournament are WWE superstars. Keith Lee has a big role in it. Otis is one of the guys in the tournament. And then Samson is one of the main guys that he goes against in the tournament as well. So he's one of those NXT guys they signed like a couple years ago. He's like a 7'4" guy, like one of the big ones. He hasn't really been on TV yet.
No, he's at
and I can tell why in this movie, because he's just the grunt, big guy to go against in the thing. But Mia Yim is one of the people in the tournament too, which is hilarious because she's the only female in like the whole tournament. But it was cool to see everybody and what they put into it. And it's a fun hour and a half, man, on Netflix. So if you're a wrestling fan, but once again, it is very much aimed at kids. So I just want to stress that it is that cheesy humor. It is about, this kid gaining his self-confidence, that he didn't have before he put the mask on, and, making his way through life. So, but we dug it, man. It was cute.
What do you give it? 3.5?
Yeah, I'd give it 3. I mean, just something right there in the middle. From a TV perspective, sticking with wrestling, we've been binging the Big Show.
I was about to say, speaking of cheesy and wrestling, let's talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing, man.
I loved it. I love that show. So I've been.
My daughter is obsessed with it right now. Anytime we have a free half hour, she's like, "Can we watch another episode?" And we're literally on there's only 8 episodes. We're on the 8th one right now. And she's sad. She doesn't even want to watch the 8th one because she's like, then it's over after that. So we've been kind of holding off, but it's charming. I will say this: the Big Show, I think, is great in the show. I think his timing and just his delivery. I think he's the more like he comes off so much better to me than like the kids, the wife, like everybody in the show. they're all super enhanced, like in that over the top sitcom kind of style. And he's just, funny, and he's just very charismatic in this show. It's the show's premise is simple. It's just that, he has two girls, and then his older girl from a previous marriage comes to stay with him for a little bit, and then trying that new family dynamic. He's just retired from the WWE, and he's trying to, find something to do and bond with his family now. So yeah, I mean, once again, super, super kiddie. This is a show I could see being on the Disney Channel, or like the Lifetime, network. Like, I mean, it is that kind of cheesy sitcom. So be forewarned if you're a grown-ass man trying to sit down and watch this show. You're going to be like, huh. But when you know what they're going for and you know how it is, it's just that good old school, like this is like a TGIF, kind of show. It's cool, man. It's fun. So it does suck. It's only 8 episodes because we blasted through it very, very quickly. So check that out.
Dutch, you enjoyed that too, right?
Huh?
I know Dutch, you enjoyed it as well, right?
Oh, I enjoyed the show. I binged it the first night. That's how much I liked it, I think. I'm a grown-ass man. I guess I find myself stuck down in that humor trough. But yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it. You know what? It was funny. I was so interested in his wardrobe, though. He was wearing that little bunny rabbit with the expo, right? Each one of those shirts is like $85 or, $112 or $165 for the polos. And I was like, man, I can't afford those, but those look nice, But yeah, the show though was just unbelievably funny in my book. The one who plays the youngest, I think she holds her own pretty well.
Yeah. She does, yeah. That was my daughter's favorite, yeah.
Yeah, and so her and the Big Show do great. Yeah, JJ. They do great for chemistry. The middle daughter, I can't remember her name, Mary or Amy or something. Something like that.
Way over the top.
She's very, if you were to replace her tomorrow, we probably wouldn't notice. But or just cut her up. But no, I gave it. If we're gonna go for a series wise, I give it like 3.5, 4 stars, easily. It's just a fun little sitcom for the family.
I enjoyed the pilot, and I'll watch the 6th one with Mick Foley. That might be it for me.
That episode was actually great. I want to shout out Mark Henry in that episode. He was awesome. I thought Mark Henry was great. Mick Foley pops up with Rikishi. And then they have a nice little backstreet moment, which was great. So, shout out to the show, man. I mean, and congratulations to it as well. It was fun as we've been binging it all week. You've been seeing it on that top 10 kind of growing. It was like number 9, it was number 7, it was number 5, then it's been number 3 the last couple of days. So it's cool to see the popularity kind of growing on it, and hopefully they'll get that second season.
I'm hoping.
The only other things, mainly from a binge standpoint on Netflix, obviously Tiger King. I don't know if y'all got caught up with Tiger King yet, but
not yet.
It is amazing. So y'all need to watch Tiger King. And then of course Ozark season 3. I can't speak highly enough for it. Whether you're a fan or not of the show, I think you should try to get into it if you gave up on it earlier. Season 3 I just thought was phenomenal, and especially the ending just had me floored. And I'm just so stoked for season 4. Just sucks to have to wait another year to get it. Hopefully a year, if not longer, with everything being shut down. So, but yeah, this show is just phenomenal. I think it's one of the best shows on television right now. Jason Bateman, Laura Linney just knock it out the park. So good. So yeah, I highly recommend Ozark season 3.
I enjoy season 1.
Yeah, you got some catching up. I think season 2 takes a dip from 1. But man, did they come back in season 3. So three was just one of those, like, one more episode, no matter how late it was, we were just like, let's do one more. Me and my wife just trying to get through it. We both just agreed how just amazing it was. So yeah, from a disappointing side, I will say, Altered Carbon, that was a show that season 1, phenomenal. I was so obsessed with season 1 a couple years ago when it came out with Joel Kinnaman. They renewed it. It took 2+ years to get the second season. They put in Anthony Mackie, which I wasn't opposed to. I was like, cool, I get it. I understand the way the show goes with the shells and everything. Season 2 was hard for me, man. It took me probably 3 to 4 weeks to binge that damn thing. It was only 8 episodes. I can only do like one episode at a time.
Really,
And I thought it was all right, but man, it was a massive step down from season 1.
well, I'll agree. It kind of had a reboot from the very, from being off for 2 years. So it kind of had to reboot just a little bit to catch up people for some reason. But I found it, I watched it in 3 days. I put, chunks out of those episodes. So it was, I enjoyed every minute of it. Anthony Mackie's, did a great job.
He did, but I had trouble feeling like he was Joel Kinnaman, like that was the same character. They were played very differently.
Well, yeah. Well, Takeshi Kovacs, who they were playing, basically. It's probably just different traits of what they read in the script. I'm thinking that's the only reason why they played it a little differently. I love the Poe character. That character to me just brings the show to life. To be able to, he's like their bat computer basically. When that's a little broken. But it's a fabulous show. I love sci-fi. I hear
the first episode.
You got to get past the first episode, man. I keep telling you, just do it.
Yeah.
Pull the Band-Aid off.
Are you on the first season?
Who, me? Yeah, I saw the first episode.
Oh, come on, dude. I don't know how after that first episode, that first season, you're not like on to the next. Like that first season was so incredible.
Yeah. So it's worth watching, man. And
it's great.
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite shows. I can't wait to start The Expanse over on Prime. I haven't watched that yet, but again, that's another sci-fi show that I hear is unbelievably good. And they're on season 5 right now. I'm waiting for them to wrap that up. It's almost like it's almost like All About Saul. I love that. I love the first episode. But then I got distracted from here, but I'm just waiting for them to wrap up the seasons so I can, binge it all like I did Breaking Bad and everything. So.
Yeah, my wife's waiting until Saul ends so she can binge it too.
So what are we at?
I've seen half of the first season. It's pretty good.
You and your half seasons, a quarter.
Dude, he's so far behind.
Oh, jeez. So the next time we got, it's going to be the top 5 or 10. It'll be 10, right? I've still never gotten this right. So anticipated.
Every week we do the same thing, and he still doesn't know how this works.
I don't know. I just do 5, and then somehow 10 show up. So, but yeah, we're doing the 5, top 5, but 10. We'll just do top 10. Fuck it. Top 10.
Move on.
So who's first? I don't even know. You got the
notes. Don, you're our guest. You go.
There you go.
Finish your 10 through 6, and then expand with 5 and further. And then we'll switch.
Okay, 10 to 5, then go through the 4 and further. Why don't we just go 10 to 6, and then we'll rotate.
Talk about 5 and further, yeah.
The first 2 I just want to say from I kind of labeled it like an honorable mention, but I also just kind of wanted to shout out from a news perspective. 2 movies that were pushed back to streaming, which is kind of cool. So we don't know what date they're going to come out, so that kind of sucks. But number 1, The Lovebirds, right? The one with Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae. That was supposed to come out actually last Friday. Then it got pushed back, and then Netflix has actually bought the rights to it. So it will be a Netflix movie, so I'm looking forward to that one whenever they decide to drop it. And then another one I've been looking forward to, especially with my daughter, we've been looking forward to going to. It's been pushed back a couple times already, and now Amazon bought it, and that's My Spy with Dave Bautista. Been looking forward to My Spy. It was supposed to come out in March, and then they pushed it back. It was actually supposed to come out the same day Bloodshot was, on March 13th, and then they pushed it back to April something. And then obviously got pushed back indefinitely when the coronavirus stuff started. And then now Amazon Prime bought the rights, so that will be airing on Prime later in the year as well. So just those couple shout outs from the official standpoint of the top 10. And where my frustration lies is these damn movies that were pushed back a year to 2021, which I just don't understand, and it really ticks me off. And this has been a venting session of mine on my own show for the last couple of weeks, is just the audacity of pushing these films back that damn far. I just don't see why. I don't get it, and it sucks. But number 10 is going to be Jungle Cruise. That's Dwayne The Rock Johnson's new movie with Emily Blunt. A big Disney movie, was supposed to come out the end of July, which The movie theaters, I'm pretty sure, are going to be open at that point. And the funny thing is, though, think about it, though. This is where I get even more pissed because they just pushed Mulan to this date that the movie was supposed to come out on. So Disney threw Jungle Cruise the next year and then is sticking Mulan onto this date. So obviously Disney does feel theaters are going to be open because they've redated Mulan to this. Why? Pick your own damn date. I don't understand. I watched The Rock's video being like, we just want to wait till the parks are open again and everything's thriving. It's like, stop. The movie was coming out in 2 months. There's no reason to push this thing back an entire year because now it comes out July 31st, 2021. And it's just, I wasn't super diehard looking forward to this movie, but from looking at all the films have been pushed, I mean, it is a bummer. This is another kind of like Jumanji. It's a family film that we could have all gone to and enjoyed, and a nice throwback kind of adventure kind of film. So that's my number 10. Just bummed that got shifted a whole damn year, really for no reason, with the Mulan landing on its date. Number 9 is going to be Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I was looking forward to that one. This is the kind of sequel reboot that they were going to do with the kids. This has been pushed. This was supposed to come out, same thing, I think in July. It's been pushed all the way to March 5th, 2021. Once again, we're into next year. Why? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so that's a bummer. Number 8 is Quiet Place Part 2. Was really looking forward to that in March, right when all this stuff started. Luckily, this one's not pushed too damn far. It's just a September 4th. So I'm glad that we'll at least get to see it hopefully in a couple months, but it is still a bummer that's been pushed back. Number 7 is No Time to Die, the new James Bond film, pushed back to November 25th, 2020. That was supposed to come out last week, so we would have all seen it already at this point, and that's a bummer. Film looks really good, so we'll have to wait on that till November. Number 6 is Morbius. Morbius was supposed to come out in July. Once again, don't really feel there was a need to move it, but they moved it all the way to March 19th, 2021. So once again, a bummer. And how is that? At this point, they're not pushing Venom 2 back. So I wonder if there's any kind of ties that'll trip up, since now Venom 2 will come out before Morbius, when Morbius was supposed to come out before Venom. So I wonder if that's going to play anything into that. So there's my 10 through 6. Number 10, Jungle Cruise. Number 9, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Number 8, Quiet Place 2. 7, No Time to Die. And 6, Morbius.
All right, now that was supposed to be quick, but never mind. Now give us your number 5, Don.
Oh, I thought we were going to go around at this point. Jeez.
No, now
I get confused as well, Don.
No, you should mix this up. Nobody should do their whole 10 in one shot. I'm sorry. Okay. So number 5 is Ryan Reynolds' new movie Free Guy. So that was supposed to come out in July. Once again, I don't think it should have been moved, but now it comes out December 11th. So it comes out at the end of the year. Been looking very forward to this. Ryan Reynolds inside the video game. It's awesome. Number 4 is Wonder Woman. What?
We go around.
My God, that was stupid. Why break it to 5? Why would you do 6?
I try to tell him this every time.
God, why? Okay, let's do our top 4 now.
I want it to be that way. I don't mind doing that. Don't tell me you tell me this every week. Doesn't blame me.
Every single time. That's why I'm confused every goddamn time we do it.
I don't know why we do the same way every week.
Do we? I don't know anymore. I just show up.
Well, good list, Don. I only have 2 of those personally, but yes, they're all a bummer.
I had 2.
That's what
okay, so my number 10 is Spiral, the reboot of the Saw. That's been pushed again. Number 9, Fast and Furious 9, is number 9 on my list, which is fun. Number 8, The French Dispatch. That to me, it just looks like it's going to be a great Wes Anderson deal. A Quiet Place is number 7, A Quiet Place 2, and number 6 is Morbius as well. So we both fall well.
Hey, number 6 on both, yeah.
Yeah. Those I really I was looking forward to. Unfortunately, most of them are not coming out at all this year, if not none, because I think Quiet Place doesn't even have an announced date.
Yeah, were you not listening to me when I did my go around?
Welcome to Jordan's world, okay? I don't ever pay attention.
Quiet Place Part 2 comes out September 4th.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I thought they moved it again. I don't know. But my number 5 though is Mulan.
Oh, he just told you.
Mulan comes out July 24th on
No, that's my
Jungle
number
Cruise
5
date,
though.
and it should have
No,
never
no, no.
moved.
I know, but my number 5 though is Mulan. That's my number 5 movie. But Mulan, I think this rendition is going to be fabulous. That's why this is the only remake of a Disney film that I'm actually really interested in to see. And I was very upset because it should be coming out earlier, as you guys know, as you just stated down below on my screen. But yeah, I just want to watch it. So I was hoping they could just throw it on Disney Plus at this point, but I can't. I can always
Too
wish.
big of a movie.
Yeah, well, because they're going after the Chinese market, which is going to be healthy by that time. So compared to ours. So Jordan, what do you got, bud?
Yeah, another good list. I think I only have one that actually overlaps on yours. My number 10, as you can see, I'm going to kick it off with a new Christopher Nolan film, Tenet here.
And it hasn't been moved yet.
Are you sure? It was on the list I read.
It's not. Tenet. Christopher Nolan's sticking to that July date for now.
Yeah, he's holding pat.
Holding
All right,
still.
my number 10 is Fast and Furious 9 then. Because I can't think of anything else right now. My number 9 is Coming to America. My number 8 is Halloween.
It hasn't been moved either.
Well, what list?
And neither has Halloween either. Dude, your list sucks. Halloween and Coming to America, those are all October, November movies. None of those have been shifted.
I don't have a list then.
This is a first.
Only summer movies have pretty much been shifted at this point.
Okay.
Just do your list. Let's see what happens. Let's do it.
I don't know. My number 5 is Black Widow. Whatever. There you go.
There you go. That was Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's going on with Black Widow?
I don't know. It's Marvel. I love Marvel. That would have been fun. All right. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Wonder Woman 84. It was supposed to come out June 5th, and now it has been pushed to August. So I applaud Wonder Woman 84 for only shifting a couple months, like all these movies should have done. Instead of going a whole year, we only went a couple months. So Wonder Woman 84 is August 14th now. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, and speaking of Wonder Woman, though, for a while though, Warner Brothers was kind of contemplating if they just wanted to shove it out there for everybody, if the theaters are still down during that period. I that's one of the movies that I will want to watch. It's not my number 4 because my number 4 was Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan. If you ever watched the Netflix, that's one of the movies that made us. I enjoy it, and I can't wait to see how they approach this one because to me it holds. You don't lose any of the past history in this one. And Reitman, is honoring his father and Dan Aykroyd and everybody, I think, in this film. It looks like so far until we actually watch it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Unfortunately, we have to wait a little bit longer. And this is the one that I was really jonesed when I first even saw the back of Ecto 1, in that teaser over a year ago, I believe. So now I got to wait almost another year. So, Jordan, what do you have, my friend?
My number 4 is everyone's favorite Joker, Jared Leto in Morbius. I like this character. This is definitely a movie I never thought we would ever get to see. Kind of another Spider-Man villain that not really that well talked about, but it was an interesting trailer. I was looking forward to seeing it. We got the little teaser at the end of Michael Keane that it's somehow in that universe, so that's even interesting. Don mentioned before now it's gonna mess up Venom 2 story wise. So we'll see, man. But that's my number 4. I was looking forward to that.
My number 3 was pretty much pushed because of Black Widow, and that's Marvel's The Eternals. So The Eternals was supposed to come out in November, which now that date has gone to Black Widow. So Eternals will come out on February 12th, 2021 now. So this is one of my most anticipated films of the year. I'm looking forward. I feel like it's going to be another Guardians of the Galaxy kind of movie. And it just sucks that I just want to say in general, just like the whole phase 4 for Marvel is affected by this, because with Black Widow shifting, then Eternals got bumped, then Shang-Chi got bumped, then Doctor Strange got bumped, and then Thor got bumped. So it literally snowballed all the way into 2022 at this point, which is a bummer. So now, Thor: Love and Thunder was one of the main movies I was looking forward to next year, and now that's out in 2022, being pushed all the way back, along with Black Panther 2 and Captain Marvel 2. So so a whole snowball there, all because of Black Widow getting shifted. So I wish Black Widow would have just came out in like August or September. I think that would have been fine. They could have just left everything else alone where they stood. So it kind of does suck that the whole thing kind of snowballed from there. But Eternals is my number 3.
My number 3 has been pushed and pushed and pushed. And that's the New Mutants. It has been this movie has been like high-handed from day one, and there was always talks. Well, let's throw it over on Disney Plus. Oh. No. How about Hulu? No. And so let's give it a real release. And then they finally were all geared up. Now we got to wait another year for it. Maybe, I don't know. But because this one doesn't really, I guess, go into anything but an X-Men reboot, I believe. What they're trying to do, but I am just so upset that they can't just give us this one. Instead of Artemis Fowl, on release, give me the New Mutants on Hulu.
This movie, it will go to a streaming service. Mark my words. At this point, it's not happening. They have no new release date for this movie. I think this will go straight to Hulu at some point. I don't see it going to Disney Plus. Just due to the horror elements and everything. I think they're going to kind of try to shift it. Who knows? And I think they want to keep it separate from the Marvel section on Disney Plus, because that's actual true MCU. And this is the last piece of the 20th Century Fox brand. So I think Hulu needs to be where it lands. This is like the 4th shift back release date wise on this movie. And so I think you'll get your streaming sooner rather than later. I know the head of Disney, Bob Iger, said that Artemis Fowl will not be the last one that goes straight to streaming. They are looking into it for other films. So this has got to be on that list at this point.
Well, because if you look at Artemis Fowl was pushed back already a year, and now it's like, we can push it again, but just give it to the Plus.
That one wasn't tracking. Nobody was going to go see it. So Disney Plus was smart for Artemis.
Yeah.
My number 3 is New Mutants. I don't know if anyone's talked about it yet. And no, I mean, again, it's been delayed. What was the first one? 2018?
2018.
What was the first one?
April 2018 to April 2019 to then like November, and then I think November to April.
It's a solid 2 years that we would have seen this thing already, and then supposedly there was never even reshoots done according to the director. So
or the cast.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's been very well reported that that never even happened. So what was the point of holding off? Instead of just finally giving a quiet release or a Hulu release. I love the X-Men. I enjoyed the thought of a horror kind of spinoff with new characters. I was in from trailer 1, and at this point, I just get it out there, man. Come on, this film almost seems perfect now, especially since the money has been spent. They should have just done what they did with Trolls. Let it out right now, get some fanfare, and get it done with.
Yep. My number 2 has been talked about already. It's Black Widow. Like we said, it's supposed to come out May 1st. It's supposed to kick off the summer movie season, and that's not happening. So now we're waiting until November 6th. So Black Widow's number 2.
My number 2 is No Time to Die. James Bond thriller. Jesus, I just forgot his name. Daniel Craig. There you go. His last of the Bonds. I'm just so excited about this one. I think because it will be good. You have Rami Emanuel. Is it Rami Emanuel, or did I screw that up? Halleck, sorry. And as one of the villains, you got Blomfeld coming back. You got and just everything about it is just I've grown up on James Bond from as long as I can remember, and loved every single one. I'm actually starting to enjoy the Timothy Dalton vehicle ones that they had. So that's saying a lot for a Bond fan. But I was so disappointed because we should have already had this down our gobs, and we would have loved it. And but now we got to wait till November, and I'm hoping everything is right with the world by then, which we should be, and we hope by June at least. So hopefully everything runs is up and running, and we can all enjoy a good Bond thriller.
Nice.
So what do you got?
We had two.
Yeah, we had two.
My number two here is A Quiet Place 2. We would have seen this about a month ago almost now. Very much looking forward to it. When they first announced that there was a sequel, I was like, I don't know, is there much more to tell? But I dug the trailer here, them leaving the house, finding Cillian Murphy, who I think is a fantastic actor here. You see Jaimin Hunter's in the trailer, so there's maybe a backstory with him we'll get to see. Even some prequel stuff, too, happening with like John Krasinski, maybe in the beginning scene. Fantastic shot in the trailer here. So very much looking forward to seeing it. I love the last one. And, just bummed because I was really hoping they were going to be able to eke out kind of like The Hunt and everything else did. And then finally it got pulled out from underneath us here. And, yeah, it's definitely a bummer here. So let's get to the top places here now.
I thought that one would go straight to VOD for a minute too, and then John Krasinski was like, "This movie is meant to be seen with an audience." I'm like, "No!" So now we got to wait till September, but at least it's just September. My number one is one you guys both mentioned, but you did it very low on your list, and I'm very disappointed. And that's Fast 9. Fast 9 is my number one. This was my.
Did I call it?
You did call it. I didn't. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. So yeah.
Hey. It was easy to make this list because honestly, on my podcast, we did an episode of our top 10 most anticipated of the year, and I pretty much just pulled that list up, and any of the ones were shifted, I carried over to this list. And Fast 9 was my most anticipated movie of the year, and now unfortunately, I can't see it. This is where the trend started too, of pushing things back a whole damn year, which really sucked because when this one came out, it's pushed back to April 2nd, 2021. So a hell of a bummer, man, for a movie that's done already. Once again, I don't understand the need for this. I've been a big fan of the Fast franchise since day one, and the movies just seem to keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and I'm just a sucker for it. So, was looking very, very forward to it. Our boy John Cena joining the crew on this one as the bad guy and also Vin's brother. And I was looking super, super forward to this, and now I got to wait a whole damn year longer, so it sucks. It makes me sad.
Well, they also announced though. Who's the guy who they made such a big deal from Fast 3? His character.
Han.
Han. And I heard that they're doing a spin-off for Han already. They're already putting that in the books. Fast and Furious, I believe. That's what I heard somewhere. I read it.
No,
that they're going to be doing a spin on something like that. No, I swear.
I don't agree that it's just not true.
I read it in about a few other spots, so it's possible. You never know.
Follow your sources.
I'll follow my sources. I know my sources. It was Jordan who told me this.
If it was
John Cena, we will not be seeing this film.
Wasn't on Am I on the Air? It's not true.
Well, anywho, my number one is actually one of my top 10 anticipated films of the year. They don't really have a release date. I'm hoping for VOD, and I will pay the $20 for it. I don't care. It's The Personal History of David Copperfield. Yes, I said it. That is my number one anticipated film that I'm very upset about.
That's going straight to streaming. I guarantee it right now.
It's possible, but they really had a lot to really go over. I mean, they don't want this to go to straight to streaming. So I don't think they will, man. It's a guy of color playing a white man's part, and it looks good. I mean, all the way through, and I don't know. I just love period pieces. I had Emma in the top 10 this year too, so. I got to see that, so I was happy. So my top 10s are different than most, but that one was the David Copperfield.
Don't worry, coming to Disney Plus very soon.
No. Maybe Prime. I think Prime will have something to do with it. But yeah,
it's a Disney movie. It's owned by Disney.
Oh, isn't it a Fox? This is Fox Searchlight or one of those things? Oh, okay, so probably Hulu. But. What do you got for your number one? It can't be as good as mine.
It's The Search for David Copperfield or whatever. What did you say? What's his name again? The Truth About David Copperfield, was it?
Yeah. The Personal History of David Copperfield.
Yeah, that one. I agree. No, I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman 1984. There's been a nice chunk of time between the last one and this one. We haven't had that next trailer yet, which I'm fine with. That I still want to see what's more with Kristen Wiig and what's the exact deal is with Chris Pine. So I'm very invested in that. And I've been craving a sequel since the last one. And like I said, I think there's been enough time to where it's just made my anticipation even more. And then once we're almost there, it gets pushed back even farther. So definitely one that hit the feels when that release date was pushed back. So that's my number one. Love me some Gal Gadot Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I can't say anything wrong about that, and I'm very happy that they're still coming out. So, and
everything's coming out at some point.
Well, no, I'm saying it'll be coming out this year. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't have to wait. Hopefully, as long as we have
in August. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. So and it's you can sit on your head and do that. I mean, I can do that. I hope. I'm going to be very distraught. I can't handle it. I can't watch a lot more of these love repeat movies that or Holly slough overs. Okay, Hollywood, get your shit together. What?
I will say, Dutch, with your highbrow taste, that the fact that you had Spiral on there, I was very shocked that was in your top 10 ship facts. He's like, hey, the new Saw movie. And then you're talking about all these other documentaries. Quite the range.
Okay, look. I wasn't actually wanting to watch it at all. And then I saw the preview and I thought, this is a different take. It's going to be a better take. I don't think it's going to be as bad as the other ones because the other ones it looked like they put a lot of thought in the story, but this one looks like they did. And Chris Rock,
I'm excited for it.
No, I think we both agreed. We are both looking forward to it. And I've been excited since I heard Chris Rock was
Yeah. So this is it's a great departure for him too, as well. So I like to see actors or anybody try to change something about themselves as the perceptions being seen on TV. So I can't wait to see what he does with that, and I hope it's going to be good. So what else we got? Where are we at to now? Where are we going to now?
I think we do every week. News and notables.
Is it my favorite subject of the week? News and notable stuff where I get educated by Jordan and now his brother Don.
Yeah, man. So I know, Dutch, you love horror, as you just said about Saw. So Justin Bruckner has been attached to the Hellraiser reboot. He directed the smaller films The Signal, which I enjoyed, and The Ritual. This will be the 11th Hellraiser movie. So let's get it. Jerry Seinfeld has a special coming out on Netflix May 5th, and Patton Oswalt is subjected for May 19th. So we got some good stand-up comedy coming your way over on the Flicks of Net. Of course, a bunch of movies have been hurt because of this whole Corona. The Batman, Matrix 4, amongst many now have been halted. So, making them question, will they reach their release date? According to James Gunn, though, principal photography on Suicide Squad 2, or however we're going to phrase it, has wrapped up in February. He says they're still on schedule, though. So Suicide Squad, at least at the moment, is still on track to play its original release date. Saturday Night Live tonight is new, evidently. Supposedly the cast is going to do the weekend update and maybe some other new stuff. So it's not just a rerun. So check in SNL tonight to see exactly how they pull that off. Everyone's favorite The Rock movie from 2006, Southland Tales. Director Richard Kelly says he still wants to do a sequel or a prequel to it. This was a flop both critically, fan-wise, and everything. This had The Rock, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Sean William Scott, Kevin Smith, Justin Timberlake. It's an odd film. It's convoluted, and yeah, Richard Kelly still hopes to get that prequel off the ground. Don, you love Southland Tales, don't you?
No.
So review. Quibi has launched. Don, have you done any Quibi?
I have done Quibi. I dig it. The shows are actually pretty good. I will say my biggest gripe on it is you have to watch on your phone or a tablet. Like, you cannot stream this to your television. There's no Chromecast option.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. The guy who founded Quibi, he said, like, oh, if the demand is there, maybe down the road we'll add a way to kind of, do an app or something for televisions. But the whole purpose of it is quick bites. It's supposed to be on the go. I'm on the tram, I'm on the train going to work, I'm in a taxi, I'm in an Uber. I have 10-15 minutes. Like I can watch an episode because everything's 10 minutes or less. And then every day, Monday through Friday, they release a new episode, or as they call new chapters, to the shows. So I've been kind of the first night it came out, every show had about 3 episodes at launch, which was kind of cool. So at least you got to see kind of a full half hour of something, even though they were like 7-8 minutes a piece. But then as the week went on, I kind of was holding off until like 3 more came out, and then kind of got to watch it, because it just, watching one a day for like 7 minutes is just like, I felt just empty. I was like, okay, what's that? Like I need more. I need to see more. But some of the shows are really good. There's a show called Flipped that's on there, which is a comedy with Will Forte and Caitlin Olsen, where they like flip this house and it's got money in the wall when they demo it, and then the cartel grabs them and wants them to do stuff for them, or they're gonna kill them. But it's really funny. There's a Liam Hemsworth show called Most Dangerous Game that's really, really good, where basically it's like The Hunt. Basically, he's on the run, and if he survives, he gets like $25 million or something. And of course, he's down on his luck. He's actually dying of cancer, and he wants the money for his family for when he passes. And then there's like fun shows like Punk'd. They brought Punk'd back, so those are actually really nice in the small chunks. Huh? It's Chance the Rapper.
Oh, it
Chance
is. Okay.
Yeah. Those actually work really well in the 7 or 8 minutes, because then it's just like there's no fluff. It's just like, here's who we're punking, here's what we're doing, let's go, and then it just does it all in one episode. So there's a handful of shows. There's more coming as the month goes on. WWE is going to have a show on there called Fight Like a Girl, which is all the divas kind of working with females that want to get into the sport. So that's coming. And then Reno 911 has a reboot coming on there, which looks awesome. So, I mean, I dig it. The content's there. It looks great. They're definitely putting money into these things. It's just hard to get used to, because I have to watch everything on my iPad, and then, just watching little segments. And then a couple of the shows me and my wife are watching, so it's like kind of, I have to prop the iPad up, and then we're sitting there watching my screen, and it just kind of sucks not being able to put it on the television. But overall, so far, it's kind of cool. And if you sign up now, you get 90 days for free. So, I mean, take 3 months and enjoy it.
So how much is a regular subscription to this thing? I'm just curious.
So it's $5 a month with ads, which basically kind of like Hulu. It's going to play an ad before and after the show.
Okay.
And then, or it's $7.99 for no ads.
Oh, okay. So that's not too bad if you're going to be on your phone all the time. Like it's geared more for people who are on their phone 90% of the time, I would think.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, it's people traveling. It's just, like I said, quick bites. You're on your lunch break. It gives you like just that small time to just binge through something real quick.
Oh, okay.
So the concept's interesting. I just wish I had a Chromecast option.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's one thing that halted me a little bit on it too. Yeah, it was the fact that you can do it on the TV. And I was making fun of Southland Tales before, but here's another movie where the sequel is very much up in the air. I know this actually when you actually do truly enjoy Don. Christoph Waltz, has said he supports the sequel to Alita: Battle Angel, that he still hopes that it will get off the ground running. So,
Me too.
Yeah, I know you're on board. I liked it too. It definitely wasn't in my top 10, but I enjoyed the world building. It was something I did want to see more of. So,
yeah, give me a second one. Let me see if Edward Norton can at least just give me something with Edward Norton in it. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking a lot. Just give me just maybe a half hour extra, I guess. Tell Cameron.
TV version of Alita: Battle Angel.
yeah. Just tell Cameron he only gets like 10 million, and it's an art film now.
Disney Plus has surpassed 50 million subscribers. Dutch, are you a Disney Pluser?
I have a Disney Plus account that's not mine, but yes, I do. I'm on a family plan, so yes, I have a Disney Plus account.
I also have a family plan. Me, Don, and several others on it. We mentioned before, in pretty recent news in My Spy with Dave Bautista, which was on some of your top 10s. That's been pushed back to Amazon Prime. That's already been talked about. So we'll get to see it in the comfort of our own homes. Another one that's been pushed back a couple times, but at least we'll get it on the small screen or big screen if you have a big small screen.
Yeah.
Small screen.
Any more news from you guys here? That's all I was able to say. What you guys got?
I'm good for misinformation, so that's good for me. You know, because I'm still waiting for that one Big Show show that came out. Remember, he went down to Atlanta to console his friends after a funeral.
That was the Don. I don't know if you ever saw that episode. But that was the greatest Dutch mistake of all time.
Oh man.
He was telling me about the Big Show, but he started reading the premise for like a BET show. No lie, like he just got like I don't know what happened. He's like he moves to Atlanta because his wife died and moves in with Jamal. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And I would have thought that would have been a great comedy show. I don't know why.
And you're like, I love it. I'm in. Big Show moves into Atlanta with Jamal and someday. And I do agree. Going back to that, though, I do think the Big Show steals the show. He is super likable in that. I have always thought him, Kevin Nash, like there are some wrestlers I thought could be great in like a sitcom, and he definitely runs away with it. Just to go back to that.
Yeah, he does.
No,
like I said, it was very impressive Mark Henry in that episode too.
Hey, let's give Mark Henry a spinoff. I can see that.
Yeah.
And then what anything else we got? I mean, any other news that we need to know about?
I usually steal news from you anyway. So, you got anything?
I don't have anything specific. I would just direct you to the social media of Am I on the Air for all your latest and greatest news. So, yeah, check out the Twitter and the Facebook page. Am I on the Air? Yes, that's where all the news is at.
I do have to just say a shout out to in memory of John Prine, one of my favorite singer songwriters of all time, died of the COVID virus just recently at 73. Great entertainer, great songwriter, like I said, and he will be missed in the world of song. So.
The singer for Fountains of Wayne, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he died about a week before, I believe, or a couple days prior, or something like that. So, but how did he die? I don't even know how he died.
Corona?
It was COVID. Yeah.
Oh, was it COVID? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was like 52, right, or something like that. 52.
Yeah, he was in his 50s. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's two artists that died who contributed a lot to music. Actually, they both their fans will surely miss them. So that's why I just want to make sure John Prine got mentioned too, because I love his music, and if you get a chance, his last album was probably one of as it gets older, his voice got a little deeper and more gravelly, but that was The Tree of Forgiveness was his last album. If you watched it on our show, I think last year, he gave it like a 5-star. So it's very good.
No, absolutely, yeah. Shout out to that, man. Great legacies left behind by both of them. Well, guys, any words to the fans here for Show About Shows?
Say that again? You cut out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Any parting words, my friends?
Just stay hunkered down and follow your local laws, man. We'll still have fun, but just be responsible. That's all I can say. Oh, by the way, I got a gift coming to you in about 14 days, so I can't wait to for you, Jordan.
Yay!
I don't know Don well enough to give him a gift just yet.
Damn it. I was like, cool. This is my welcome prize for coming on.
Well, we'll do that. We'll get you something.
It'll be the best of Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah.
the Blu-ray of all his greatest work.
American Dreamer on VHS.
In the words of Samuel L. Jackson, stay the fuck at home.
Yeah. I like that.
Alrighty, well, my friends, for Dutch McAllister, Don Mega, check him out. Of course, Am I on the Air? As I said, years running, 300 episodes. The man knows his stuff, but not the indies. He doesn't know his Jim Gaffigans, his documentaries that are in black and white.
Hey, Tiger King, that's the documentary you should be watching.
Oh, yeah,
Crip Camp. Watch it. Watch Crip Camp.
Murder, mayhem, and madness. Which is, by the way, there's a new episode of Tiger King coming out tomorrow, hosted by Joel McHale. So check it out on Netflix. Nice additional add-on to the documentary. So,
yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm glad.
But yeah, Am I on the Air, everybody? Check it out every Monday on all your favorite platforms. Apple, iTunes, Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker,
Can we get you Stitcher?
Google Play Podcast, Podchaser.
Okay.
It's available on all of them.
On all
AmIonTheAir.com.
Even on beta.
VHS, beta.
Yeah.
YouTube. Instagram.
8-track. It's everywhere. It's
am I
everywhere
on the
you want to
air?
be. It's everywhere you want to be. But no, Jonathan, I do appreciate you showing up and sitting in our virtual Medea chair today.
Oh, sure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had fun. We're gonna have to work on this top 10 thing. So I'm gonna have to talk to you off camera and just how we get.
You guys say talk to me. If you want to feel that stuff. And you don't, you just get confused on the air. You know what, guys? That's the end of the show. About shows. I love you all more than these two. Bye.
Bye.
Always at the glove. Troll 2 out now.